everyone, welcome to Iran Tech, where we bring you the cutting edge of technology in Iran. I'm Ali Reza, and in this episode, I'm going to show you one of the most advanced pieces of technology in the world of medicine in the country. Stay with us. Robots instill mixed feelings in people. They always have and they still do, especially those humanoid-looking ones. They still freak people out. But they can save lives in a way that the average surgeon just can't. And Iran is second in line in proving this after America in manufacturing. The Sina Robotic Telesurgery System is a working proof of this concept. This robot allows for remote interaction and potentially long-distance interaction between the surgeon and the robotic handles that are supposed to be carrying out the surgeon's orders. And this is what we're going to be delving deep into in this episode of Iran Tech.
ایده اصلی روباتیک سرجری یا جراحی از راه دور همین بود که ما بتونیم با استفاده از تکنولوژی‌های روز بدون حضور فیزیکی در کنار مریض بتونیم اعمال جراحی رو و بیماری‌هاش رو درمان بکنیم. و این جریان کوویدی که الان وارد عرصه در واقع بهداشتی جهان شده، من فکر کنم جراحی روباتیک میتونه پررنگ‌تر از گذشته ظاهر بشه.
Now, you may be thinking, why can't the doctors just do their own job? Why do they have to assign it to a bunch of robots and they're stealing people's jobs and whatnot? Which, honestly, if you're that much of a technophobe in this day and age, good job. And what are you even doing watching this program? Anyways, there's a reason for that, because it adds something to the experience. It adds something to the surgery. If you want to know what it adds to the surgery, stick around to see my interview with the founder of this company. Dr. Ali Reza Mirbagari, the founder of the company, and he was kind enough to give us an interview because we naturally had some questions. Doctor, it's a pleasure. So, of course, I know that you've been in the industry for about 15 years before you founded the company in 2015. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the company?
Actually, I started this field at 2003 when I was an MSc student in the field of medical robotics.
Right.
Actually, at that time, medical robotics was a very new field, kind of multidisciplinary field between mechanical engineering, electronics, computer, and also medicine. I was interested at this field, and I called my professor, Professor Farzan Farahman, who was studying in this field. Right. And I said that, okay, I'm interested to work at this
and you
field.
started your first project.
Yeah. You know, in laparoscopic surgery, instead of making a big incisions on the patient's abdomen, right. In some cases up to 20 or 30 centimeters, right. We may perform very small incisions, only 5 millimeters in the patient's abdomen.
So it would leave a very small scar.
Yeah, very small scar.
Right.
Only 2, 3 or 4 small incisions, right. And use instruments like this. One of the main limitations in laparoscopic surgery is that in open surgery, you may use your wrist and fingers. In many complex surgeries, you need these maneuvering inside the patient's body.
Right. This doesn't allow you to do that.
Using laparoscopic surgery, you cannot do it. So we have to perform some complex surgeries in open method. We could not do it with laparoscopic surgery.
Right, so this gives you the benefits of having an open surgery without the limitations of using something like this.
Exactly.
Still in the animal testing phase, Sina systems will get their license for human testing in 2 years and enter the global market in 3, although they have been registered and patented in America and China. But once they do hit the global market, they will sell for 1/3 of the price of their American counterpart, the Da Vinci. But this show is not an advertisement. We're here to demonstrate a technological wonder and an Iranian achievement. But a side note on the name Da Vinci, an Italian name on an American product, I don't know, it just seems like a confusing decision to me, but I digress.
This dog underwent a successful vasectomy surgery at Tehran's Imam Khomeini Hospital, but the surgeon carried out the operation from another hospital located 7 kilometers away. This is the first remote surgery in Iran. The 5G-powered telemonitored operation was conducted using this indigenously made surgical robot, dubbed Sina.
برای کسی که در جایی دور از پزشک مورد نظرش هست ولی میخواد به دست اون پزشک که مطلوب و مورد نظرش هست مداوا بشه، این خودش یک مزیتی هست و یک دسترسی هست که برای اون مریضی که در واقع نمیتونه فیزیکی دسترسی به پزشک داشته باشه از راه دور بتونه مشکل حالا جراحی یا غیر جراحیشون جراحی در واقع از راه دور قسمتی از تلمدیسن یا طبابت از راه دور هست.
The other advantage is that in laparoscopic surgery, surgeons have to perform like this. Some cases up to 8 hours for
they would get tired.
Surgery. In this method, surgeon may sit behind the machines in very ergonomic positions.
And they could be standing, semi-seated, or completely seated.
Exactly.
Can they just let go of the device for like a couple of seconds to, catch their breath or something?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And if he gets tired from sitting, he may change his position to the standing mode.
That is very cool.
These are our patenting issue in the world. Which one? The first unique.
در جراحی روباتیک ما سر کارمون با ابزارهای بدون جان و فیزیکیه که این ابزارها با حرکاتی که ما انجام میدیم و با در واقع اعمالی که روی این ابزارها انجام میدیم به طور غیر مستقیم تبدیل به دیتاهای دیجیتالی میشه و از طریق این دیتاهای دیجیتالی میره و رباتی رو که در کنار مریض هست و به اون بس هست با کمک اون حرکات اون ربات‌ها ما کار در واقع جراحی و درمانیم رو انجام میدیم.
The concept of master and slave might be a thing of the past, but the idea still very much applies to what we have over here. So basically we have this master console that picks up the surgeon's hand movements and transmits them to this thing right here, these slave robotic handles which measure all the patient-robot interaction forces or torques and then send them back to this master console, to these handles, so that basically the surgeon can get a feedback on all tool-tissue interactions. In other words, the surgeon could get a sense of how tightly they have tied a knot or how hard they are pressing down on the patient's tissue. So that's basically what it does. And we want this to happen because, we don't want to lose any of the senses, because that's the whole point of using robotics in the world of medicine. We don't want to take away anything, we just want to add to it.
الان ما روی در واقع داریم یه مولاژ در واقع کار میکنیم، یعنی یه وسیله‌ای که برای آموزش در واقع کسایی که میخوان یاد بگیرن یه وسیله ساخته شده به عنوان مولاژ و تمرین میکنیم که مهارت‌ها رو در واقع افزایش بدیم. همونطور که ملاحظه میکنیم مثلا در اینجا ما تمرین میکنیم که چجور بخیه بزنیم، سوزن بگیریم و روی مولاژی که ملاحظه میفرماییم بخیه‌امون رو بتونیم بزنیم. اینجا یه کارگاه در واقع تمرین مهارت هاست که این قسمت در اصل تمرین بخیه زدن و نحوه گرفتن سوزن و همچنین بخیه زدن هست. الان یه بخیه رو تقریبا ما اینجا تمرین کردیم، زدیم و بقیه کار رو هم میشه ادامه داد تا به مراحل پیشرفته برسیم.
So as I'm using this gaming controller to perform a surgery, I noticed a couple things. Number one, it scales down my movements quite a bit, so if I make a mistake or make a big turn or something, it doesn't turn that much. It only turns a little bit, which helps with the accuracy, and it doesn't help me with the accuracy because I'm still pretty bad at it. So that's one thing that I noticed. The other thing is that if I'm, getting uncomfortable and tired, which I actually am, I can just, hit this clutch and everything will stop. I can let it go, and I can adjust the rest here, and also I can, get into a semi-standing or semi-seating position. So something like this. And my legs are straighter, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable, and I can imagine the doctor would be too, probably, I don't know. But this is a lot more difficult than I imagined. So if you would let me, I would go back to performing a surgery with this very advanced gaming controller for adults or doctors. I'm not saying you can't game if you're not an adult. I'm saying a lot of things. I can't focus on so many things at once. This is very difficult. Just a little bit more. Oh, got it. No, I didn't. Right. And when it comes to the other products that this company makes, what can you tell me about some of them? Because I know that you have branched out in many different ways and in many different fields. What can you tell me about the other branches and the other products of this company?
Actually, I should say that our main branch is medical robotics. Medical robotics have two main branches, including robotic surgery, which we talked about it, and the other is robotic rehabilitation. Robotic rehabilitation have different devices. Some of them are therapeutic devices for treatment of the patients, and some of them are assistive devices to assist patients to do their daily tasks. Actually, in rehabilitation, physiotherapists should do very exact and repetitive works with usually high forces, which make
they're manually very difficult.
Yeah, very big tension for the physiotherapist.
Right.
So the robots are the best solutions for such a work.
Yeah, and they have to be like pretty strong themselves to be able to perform some of these therapies.
Exactly. So we have several products in the field of robotic rehabilitation for physiotherapist tasks or assistive devices for daily.
Right. A couple of final things about this particular unit right here. I know that the bed can move over 2 axes, and also the robo handles can be swapped during the surgery almost like without skipping a beat. What are the benefits of having these 2 options in the bed and in the robot handles?
Actually, this is a very important advantage. The only available robots in the market before these systems stand on the ground like me and insert his hands inside the patient's body.
Right.
So you could not rearrange the surgical bed during surgery.
Right.
In some cases, like as radical prostatectomy, it is not important. So the currently available robots have a very perfect performance in radical prostatectomy because it is not necessary to rearrange the surgical bed.
Right.
But in many surgical procedures in the abdomen, I mean in colorectal,
you need this reorientation.
Yeah, it is needed to reorient the surgery bed.
So we talked about some of the other products and inventions that this company has, but by far their biggest contribution to the world of medical science in the country has been this robot right behind me that we just showed you. Thanks for joining us on our quest today. There's a lot more to discover in pretty much every field of science you can imagine in this country. So make sure to check us out next week. But until then, I've been Ali Reza, and I'll see you all next time.